Welcome to my world where all is well. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that create the things. Today is December the 8th, 2022. It is currently 14:51 hours, 67 degrees and mostly cloudy. I am a former officer who has been diagnosed with PTSD, social anxiety, and depression. Making these videos has been very therapeutic to me, and I hope that it is a blessing to you. I started my day today praying for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Then I read Proverbs 8 and 7, which says, "For my mouth shall speak truth, and wilderness is an abomination to my lips." Proverbs 8 and 7, that really encouraged me. My mouth shall speak truth. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that good? What if everybody was like that, where your mouth could do nothing but speak truth? This scripture reminded me of this movie called Liar, Liar with, it's one of my favorite comedians. I can't think of his name right now, but Liar, Liar. He couldn't tell a lie. His mouth wouldn't allow him to lie, and he had to speak the truth. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wilderness is an abomination to my lips. Proverbs 8 and 7. It's an old movie, but Jim Carrey is in that movie. It's a very good movie. And doing my meditation today, the thought that came to me was, I have peaceful prosperity. You know, I know a lot of us want prosperity, want to be rich in every area of our life, not just financially. And I see these millionaire stories, how they become prosperous, but it's not a peaceful prosperity. You know, it's like a persecuted prosperity. Everybody come out the woodworks. People try to rob them. One guy, his brother even set him up to be robbed. Then this guy, poor guy in Florida, one of his best friends ended up killing him. That's not the type of prosperity I want. I want a peaceful prosperity. So when you pray and ask God for prosperity, if you already have prosperity, ask the Lord to keep your prosperity peaceful. I want a peaceful prosperity. It's a difference between just being prosperous, being persecuted just for being prosperous, and then just having a peaceful prosperity. I remember when I was in school, there was this girl. People was picking on her. She was a beautiful girl. And I remember asking one student, I'm not going to mention any name, like, why do y'all mess with her? She don't do anything to anybody. And this individual told me that she just messes with her because she's pretty. Like, so, I mean, people prosecute people for being pretty. People prosecute people for being prosperous. People prosecute people for being just they're plain old selves. I mean, it's I don't want to say it's a crazy world out there, because in my world all is well, and in my world I have peaceful prosperity. I had a crazy dream. I dreamed that we was in this church, me included. I don't know why I was in this church in this dream, but the church, I guess, was filled about a good 200-300 people. It was a packed church. It was a male pastor, and he would call people up for prayer. People would come up for prayer. He would choke them to death and kill them. Of course, they would call the police. The police would come get the body. They would tell them who they said the pastor killed them. The pastor was never arrested. Then everybody go home. They come to church. The next Sunday, same thing happened. The preacher preached a sermon, call the people up for altar for prayer, and the church is still packed. It's like he would still kill people, choke them in front of there, choke people to death. They would call the police, the medical examiner come out, get the body. Same thing over and over again, every single Sunday. I thought the dream was interesting. I have no interpretation of this dream. I put no thought into it, because things like that, somebody killing somebody, I try not to meditate on that. But that was the dream that I had. So if anybody would like to interpret it or give me an explanation of it, feel free to go at it. But guess what? I'm so grateful. Brittney Griner has been released. She is en route on her way back to the United States of America. She's going to be flown into San Antonio, Texas to get medically evaluated, and then she'll be free to give and receive love from her family. Her wife was so poised and nice when she was at the White House with President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. And I love the fact that they was happy to bring BG home, but they didn't forget about the other prisoners that were still there in horrific conditions. But I'm so grateful that Brittney Griner get to come home. I can't wait for her to get back on the floor and play WNBA basketball again if that's what she desires to do. I watched a few of her games. She's great. She's an Olympic medalist. Hopefully this has not discouraged her from what she is so great at, which is basketball. But whatever she decides to do, I just want to be of a great support to her. And I'm so happy that Reverend Warnock won. He won the U.S. Senate. He's going to go and work for us. I'm so glad also that same-sex marriage just became a law. It was the last thing that Nancy Pelosi presided over today in the House before the Congress exchanges hands, I believe, in about 2 weeks. So I'm grateful for all of that. I also read chapter 10 of Unprotected by Billy Porter today. Get the book if you don't have it already. My food journal today: Doritos, sausages, Oreos, water, and salmon tacos. I'm getting better. I didn't have Pepsi. I haven't had Pepsi in 2 days, so I'm getting better. I did go to the gym today. I did 30 minutes on a treadmill, and I did 30 minutes worth of strength training. I went yesterday as well, and I plan on going tomorrow. I talked to my friend Cheryl yesterday. She called me yesterday. She has pins in her hands. Now, she broke her hand a while ago. Now they have pins in her hands. She still can't drive. But Cheryl, if you're seeing this, I'm praying for you. Praying for your comfort and strength. And I know all is well and all will get better. I love you and be encouraged. I was on my social medias today and I saw a crazy story about Olive Garden in Overland Park, Kansas. This manager got fired. You know why he got fired? Because he sent an email out to all of his employees and told them if they're sick, they have to come in and prove it to them that they're sick. If their dog died, they have to bring their dead dog in so he can see that their dog had died. If they have a family emergency, in this email, he told them too bad, come to work or find another job. That's the Olive Garden for you in Kansas City, or the state of Kansas, Overland Park, Kansas. Unbelievable. I pray there's a day where people are not dependent on their jobs as their main source of income. I don't have the wherewithal, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding yet to know how that will happen. But I hate it for people who have to be subject to be treated like this because they have to feed their family. Talking about same-sex marriage and Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner is a same-gender loving woman. She's married to Miss Sherelle Griner. Dr. Howard John Wesley. I love Dr. Howard John Wesley. He pastors at Alfred Street Baptist Church in Alexandria, Virginia. Dr. Howard John Wesley spoke about Sodom and Gomorrah. And he said Sodom and Gomorrah was not about same-gender love, which I have been telling and preaching to people for years. Sodom and Gomorrah was about rape and incest and inhospitality. It had nothing to do with homosexuality. God had already said he wanted to condemn Sodom and Gomorrah before the men came into Lot's house that night, knocking on his door, demanding the angels to come out so they can get to know the angels to have sex with the angels. That happened after God had already said, I want to get rid of Sodom and Gomorrah. And when it said men in the Bible, it said men, women, and children came knocking on the door at night to get to know the angels. So are you telling me the men, women, and children were all trying to engage in a healthy, loving relationship, whether it was same gender or heterosexual relationship with these angels? No, they was trying to cause hurt, harm, and danger to these angels. And check this out. What bothers me the most is he offered his own daughters, his own virgin daughters, to these people. I don't recall anybody saying anything about that. Who offers their own virgin? I don't have any daughters. I don't mind having daughters, but I think my mom and my sister are glad that I don't have any daughters. But if I happen to have one or have had one, I would just raise them like you raise any girl. Do their hair, buy them dresses, and get whatever she liked. But if she didn't like that, I'll buy her a basketball, whatever she liked. But I can't imagine offering my virgin child, whether it's a girl, a virgin girl, or a virgin boy. I have 3 kings. I can't imagine saying, here, it's a lot of stuff in the that goes on in the church. It's just mind-boggling to me. But you know what? Everybody makes mistakes, and everybody deserves forgiveness. We all do. But once you start seeing a pattern of this person making the same mistakes over and over again, it's time to remove yourself from that mistake. Okay? If you're around someone who's constantly doing the wrong thing, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, just remove yourself from that headache. This person is not trying to do better for themselves. Only thing they're trying to do is scheme a way into making you correct their mistake for them. And as long as you are there to do that, they're going to continue to make mistakes. But some people, when they make mistakes, they're truly sorry, ask for forgiveness, and they go on with their life. Those are the people you need to have in your life. I'm one of those people. I make mistakes, ask for forgiveness. If the mistake is brought to my attention, or once I realize it was a mistake. But if I'm constantly, even if it's me, if I'm constantly making the same mistake over and over again, you telling me, hey, Frida, you making a mistake, then remove yourself from me. Maybe I'm enjoying my mistake. If you think, some people think I'm a mistake. The fact that I exist as a black female, same gender loving woman, if you think that I'm a mistake, then just move, get the hell away from me. You go over there, I stay over here. God bless you. That's how we can solve that. Don't keep coming in my inbox on my social media pages saying, hey, you are a mistake. Okay, thank you, appreciate you. God loves me as I am. And you know, we become what we think about the most. Guess what? I don't think I'm a mistake, so I'm not a mistake. But we become what we think about the most. If you think about yourself positively than you do negatively, then you become more of a positive person. When I'm around people who speak negative about everything all the time, then I know that they think of themselves negatively as well. You know, one time I had one of my kings say something, say, man, I'm stupid. I said, don't you ever call my child stupid. They was talking about themselves, but themselves were my child, my king. Like, I didn't give birth to stupidity. You didn't come from stupidity. I'm not raising stupidity. If you really believe stupid, get out my house. Stupidity does not reside here, does not live here. Now, we may do stupid things. We may say stupid things. Our actions may be stupid, but that is not who we are. Okay? Stupid is not allowed in my house. It's not. Ask any of my kings. They'll let you know. Stupid ain't allowed here. Stupid does not reside here. What else? Today I watched 48 Hours, season 36, episode 7. It was talking about the unsolved murder of Roxanne Wood. Very good story. They believed her husband killed her, but they found out by DNA from a one of those websites where you get your DNA to find out your genealogy or your ancestors. I didn't know this, but you can volunteer to have your DNA submitted to a computer database. Now, not all of the DNA people do this, where you can submit your DNA for your ancestral lineage, and it's not required. But if you would like to, you can. You have the option, say, yes, I would like to submit my DNA, or I give this website permission to submit my DNA to the police CODIS database. CODIS is where they store the DNA at, to help solve unsolved murders. And if your DNA happens to match a relative of someone that they're looking for that have committed a crime, they're able to use your DNA to say, hey, Who is your brother? Who is your cousin? Who is your father? Who is your child? They have been associated with a crime, which I found was interesting. You can get all of that from watching 48 Hours, The Unsolved Murder of Roxanne Wood. After that, I listened to a wonderful podcast today called Matters of the Heart by Zoe Alexander. It was talking about journeying with the ones you love, going on a trip with the ones you love. She was talking about Naomi and Ruth and Opal in this podcast, but what came to my mind was Quayla. The young lady that went to Mexico, journeyed to Mexico with so-called friends, and unfortunately did not come back alive. Journeying with the ones you love. Make sure when you are on a journey that you are journeying with the people that you love. Ruth told Naomi that wherever she go, I go. She was going to journey with Naomi wherever she went. She was journeying with someone that she loved. But caused Ruth and Naomi both to be able to live the rest of their lives successfully through Boaz. But I'm still praying for Quayla's family and friends, comfort and strength. But make sure when you go on a trip, when you are going on a journey with someone, make sure you're journeying with someone that you love, not with someone who says that they love you. But make sure you love the people that you're going on a journey with. As a matter of fact, you could be going on a journey with someone you love and they still have an ulterior motive. Just be careful. Be careful out here. This is times where I'm grateful that my social anxiety is here, but maybe one day I get rid of my social anxiety. Right now, I ain't trying to go nowhere. There are copycat killers out there. There was a shooting at the Walmart in Virginia, and then yesterday there was a shooting at the Walmart in Marietta. What they're saying now that it wasn't. At first, it came out as an active shooter. Now they're saying it was a dispute against two people and nobody else was in danger. So now I don't know if a gun was involved or not. But either way, Walmart is off the chain. The Raiders and the Rams play tonight, and I have Kyren Williams, number 23. He's a running back for the Rams. He's on my fantasy football league, so I'm in need of the Rams to win tonight. Sorry, Alex, I know you want the Raiders to win, so please forgive me. But just for tonight, I just need Kyren Williams, the running back, to do very well. I also found another new song that I love. It's called "God Turned It Around" by Tim Godfrey. God Turned It Around by Tim Godfrey. Please take a listen to that song. It'll bless you. And guess what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna do my Give, Save, Live today. Guess what? I got $10. I got $10. I got $10. Hey, 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 hey. I got $10. I got $10. I got $10. Hey, 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 hey. I'm so grateful for my $10. You know what? Jesus fed 5,000 men, plus women and children, with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Guess what he can do with this $10? This $10 gonna be able to buy me and my family a home, cars, food. We're going to be able to have more than enough money to give and to receive. Because with this $10, I'm going to give, I'm going to live, and I'm going to save. Give, live, save. What I'm going to do with this $10. So right now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to save it. I'm going to put it in my handy dandy envelope that says 10. So I'm going to put this $10 right here in here. Then I'm going to properly seal it. And put it back in my handy dandy envelope box. And that's how I'm going to save it. So I have saved $10. Now, I'm going to give $10. If you would like the $10, just comment, like, share, subscribe, or get my attention some type of way and tell me, hey, I need that $10 so I can do such and such and such. Hopefully you take your $10 and you give, save, and live. And I'm also going to live off of $10. What that means is today, I'm going to do something for me with the value of $10. I've not figured out what that is yet, but if you have any suggestions, let me know. And I'll take $10 and do something for myself with it. Give, save, live. I also play the numbers today. I put in, I only played cash for 5821 and 4581. Those are the two numbers I paid for cash for. I believe it's enough out there for all of us to win. So you have more than my permission to play my same number. So mix the numbers up however you would like to do so. I'm still so glad that Brittney Griner is home, en route to be home. Have you ever been arrested? And have you ever been unlawfully arrested? Have you ever been submitted to a horrible situation in a cell? Tell your story. I would like to hear it. My affirmation for today is made by God. I am wonderfully made by God. I am a black, female, same gender loving woman who is a mother. And I am made by God. Isn't that great? Because the greatest thing ever made me. There's nobody greater than God. I was made and purposely created by the greatest being ever. I can't even call him a being. God is. When people ask me who is God, God is just is. There's no definition. God is. God and love are the exact same. You can't separate the two. I was made by love, made by God, made by grace, made by forgiveness, made by mercy, made by God. Now, I would like to share with you Romans 10:9, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Romans 10:9. That's great. I'm going to end with my serenity prayer now. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you for joining me in my world where all is well. I'm the thinker who thinks the thoughts that curate the things. You have a wonderful day.